You may now begin your presentation.
Two roads diverged in the yellow wood, and I took the one less traveled by. And that has made all the difference, by Robert Frost. Many people believe that it is impossible for a single person to change the society. They believe that it is inevitable for her to follow the mainstream of the society.
However, to make the impossible be possible,
to make a better world through the positive power of business, with the heart for the world,
we, Ewha side, took the road less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Ewha side.
Now we are going to present our first project, Blooming of Museum.
Korea has taken a considerable step toward the development of museums during the last few decades. Now, about 50% of the total number of museums is occupied by private museums and exhibitions.
Still, the reality of our cultural status is just as poor as the past. The great development has only occurred to public museums, not private ones. More than 90% of private museums are suffering from financial difficulties and lack of support.
the problem of losing private museums is not only limited to bankruptcy of museum owners, but also it is a loss of our precious traditional remains. So, Ewha selected one-off museums which showed strong demand in looking for better marketing strategies to improve their financial structure.
We found that the Korean Contemporary Poem Museum is having a serious problem in their marketing. It opened in November 2008. Kim Jae-hong as director, Lee Jae-in as a vice curator are operating. They own many valuable artifacts of a Korean contemporary poem.
However, Korean Contemporary Poem Museum is not well known to public. Director and vice curator of the Poem Museum really wish to introduce the excellence of the Korean poetry. However, they don't know how to promote their museum.
부족이 제일 컸다고 생각할 수 있어요. 제일 먼저 이 박물관이라는 것은 어느 정도의 공간이 확보되어야 하는데 그 공간을 확보하기에 서울에서는 특히나 이게 물가도 비싸고 또 그런 어떤 집값도 비싼 그런 서울에서 그 부지를 마련하기는 쉽지가 않았고 개인이 운영하다 보니까 홍보의 문제, 우선 사람이 부족하는 문제라서 홍보의 문제가 또 있었고 모든 것에서 다 그렇듯이 비용의 문제 또 이런 여러 사람의 호응도의 문제 그런 또 어떻게 하면 관람객들의 흥미를 유발할 수 있을까 하는 그러한 세 가지 문제가 가장 큰 문제였다고.
After we were directed to talk about this issue, we arranged the problems into three categories.
We think that the first problem of the Poem Museum is that the museum does not attract visitors. Poem Museum is in Daehangro. However, it is located far from the main street.
Moreover, the size is too small to contain all of the collections. So, they cannot arrange their collections neatly, but just pile them up.
For these two reasons, in total, 1,000 people visited last year, which indicates there are only 3 visitors per day.
The second problem is the instability of income.
The admission fee is 2,000 won, so the average profit for one day was just 6,000 won. So, therefore, most of their income came from invitation display. When the museum lent their collections to other institutions, they received an investment as an exchange. The problem of invitation display was that it was held by chance in a short-term policy.
The third problem is the lack of marketing knowledge. The curators just put up their collections on the wall and waiting for the visitors to come with no other efforts.
For this situation, Ewha thought of solutions.
First, we need new marketing strategies to overcome the problem of location.
Second, we need to stabilize the income.
Third, we need to make them acquire the entrepreneur spirit to sustain the project as a long-term success.
To solve this location and income problem, we decided to do Visiting Museum. Visiting Museum is an active way of finding a place for an exhibition and also receiving investment as an income.
Then we started to seek the press to exhibit, but it was very hard. With insufficient capital, we had to find somewhere which doesn't charge a rental fee. Therefore, we found the Southern Art Center was the best spot for the exhibition.
Southern Art Center accepted our proposal because they wanted to make our valuable culture widely known. Southern Art Center does not charge rental fee and also receives many visitors. So, Poem Museum made partnership with Southern Art Center and receives investment for the exhibition.
For the exhibition, 99 collections were chosen by the curator of the museum. Then, we prepared special programs. Ewha and the curators held a number of meetings.
Meetings were very helpful in sharing marketing strategies. Among those ideas, 4 were chosen. They were poem quiz, writing poem, student docents, and reciting poetry.
To promote, we started to promote our exhibition. We printed 4,000 brochures and 500 posters.
The brochures were distributed to all the public centers in Seodaemungu, and the posters were put up at the universities. And we also passed out the official documents about the exhibition to the schools in Seodaemungu. Furthermore, we promoted our exhibition through the Poem Museum's Twitter.
We sent information about our exhibition to broadcasting stations. Let's take a look at one of the broadcasting scenes.
서대문 문화회관에서 진행하고 있는 현대시 박물관 특별전 시 봄을 입다 전시회. 1908년 한국문화사상 최초의 현대시인으로 불리는 최남선의 작품부터 정지용, 이상, 윤동주 등 수많은 신들의 100여 년 세월을 전시에 담았는데요. 약 120여 점의 시들이
Our exhibition, The Poem Where's the Spring, was held for 2 weeks. Poem quiz was very successful. Many children came and enjoyed the activity. Writing poetry was an active way for the visitors to participate and express their own feelings.
Curators suggested that the student docents would be very helpful for their visitors. So, 20 student docents were trained and they gave explanations to the visitors.
To boost the environment, all the A4 papers we had used were environment-friendly papers.
Our biggest program was the reciting poetry. The participants were 7 famous poets of the Poem Museum and local residents of Seodaemungu.
It was a good opportunity to introduce both the value of Korean poetry and the Poem Museum to the residents.
The following is the outcome for the poem Where is the Spring? About 1,700 people visited to our exhibition over 12 days. This is much greater than the number of visitors of the Poem Museum last year.
And in our survey, about 80% of people were greatly satisfied. Moreover, 60% people will answer the awareness of Korean poetry and museum has increased.
이제 그런 공간을 통해서 이 박물관까지 찾아오기 어려운 그러한 면을 우선 해소를 할 수 있었다는 점. 그래서 서대문이라는 그 작은 지역 사회지만 그곳에 가서 전시를 함으로써 그곳 사람들, 박물관을 찾아오기 어려웠던 사람들에게, 주민들에게 다가갈 수 있었다는 점. 앞으로 전시를 할 때 어떤 방법으로 우리가 전시를 할 수 있을까 하는 것을 한번 생각해 볼 수 있는 그런 기회가 되었습니다. 어떤 행사가 있든지 우리들도, 그러니까 우리 현대시 박물관에서도 과연 이런 행사를 할 때 어떻게 사람들을 동원할 수 있을까? 보다 많은 사람들이 이 소중한 자원을 활용하고 누릴 수 있을까 하는 것을 생각해보는 그런 계기가 되었어요.
As you see, they gained a better understanding on operating the museum. The new marketing strategies were very useful. So they have a strong desire to implement these programs again. Their viewpoint of operating the museum has changed.
Also, we were exposed to the mass media for 15 times.
Moreover, Sadaemun Art Center donated 1,580,000 won for the exhibition. The total expenditure for the exhibition was 730,000 won. Therefore, the Korean Contemporary Poem Museum made a profit of 850,000 won.
We are planning to hold another visiting museum in September.
The theme of next exhibition is poetry and painting, and the curators of Poem Museum are finding a place for the exhibition. We will have more meetings to share marketing strategies, and this will make them to think more about ways of marketing museum.
Curators would gradually have more duties in organizing exhibitions than they have now with our help. Our ultimate goal is to make them to prepare visiting museums on their own.
The poem Where is the Spring was just the first step for the Poem Museum. Now, the curators and director are waiting for the next great change.
Now we are going to present our second project, Hopes to Overcome.
Have you heard of the working poor? The working poor are the individuals and family who maintain regular employment but still remain in poverty due to the low levels of income.
The numbers of working poor in Korea is estimated more than 5 million. To help them overcome poverty, the government carries out self-support program policy. However, the success rate of self-support is only 6%. It's a very low number.
At Sadaemun Self-Support Center, small income earners are trying to work and become self-sufficient by running their own business. Their business is to produce tofu, deliver them to stores and households, and sell them.
With lack of business management experience, they weren't able to run their business efficiently. As a result, their business was in financial deficit. So, they needed a business consulting to assess and improve their business situation. From January 2011, Ewha has started to work with 4 small income earners who make domestic bean tofu in Sadaemun Self-Support Center.
To find their needs and problems, we met with tofu makers and workers in the center. And also, we analyzed the current management data. So here, we found 3 biggest and the most urgent problems that had to be solved.
First, the poor profit structure of the business. Since they were not able to figure out exactly how much they were spending, measuring the exact net profit was impossible. So, they had difficulties in setting price, retail margin, or the weights of the product. Second, difficulties in expanding distribution networks.
They were not able to segment consumers and target distribution areas for sales, so the results were less efficient. Additional time and resources were wasted.
Third, lack of business knowledge and skills.
Since the tofu makers hadn't acquired any formal education in operating a business, they had lack of business skills and knowledge. So, this led to low work efficiency and ineffective decision-making.
To solve these problems, Ewha came with 3 strategies for each.
Problem 1. Poor profit structure. To solve the deficit problem, we analyzed the cost and profit of the business. And here, we found out that
The production costs were made up by more than 85% of selling price. And because of the low name value, customers didn't recognize the product quality well.
So, to solve this problem, first, we reduced the standard quantity, and then raised the price of the product, and at the same time, redesigned its packaging.
As a result, 1 million won, 414% of the successful increase in net profit per month was achieved.
Moreover, the tofu makers' experiences in strategic risk-taking have helped them to understand business concepts through profit maximization.
Problem 2. Difficulties in expanding distribution networks.
To increase the sales volume, we targeted specific customers and then used various ways to promote the food.
Regarding the percent margin, supplying the product to local stores at current high production cost was hardly profitable.
So, we decided to set home delivery as the main distribution channel. This way of distribution is good for both consumers and makers. Consumers can buy fresh tofu without margin. The tofu makers can make more profit by reducing distribution stages.
And then we implemented market segmentation to target specific consumers. We concluded that targeting housewives living in Mapogu Seongsamdong Sanamdong area will be the most profitable because these areas had customers who consumed domestic bean tofu.
Moreover, delivering locally reduced the whole delivering time and also reduced the consumption of petrol, which resulted in less CO2 emission.
After narrowing down the target market, figuring out the ways to promote the product was a big challenge.
Due to low name value, we had difficulties in attracting customers, and we also had difficulties in reaching individual households because there wasn't a central distribution network.
So, we have figured out 2 ways to overcome this problem and attract home delivery customers.
First, raising brand awareness by taking advantage of 녹색 소비자연대 Green Consumer Networks, which has already high credibility among our general consumers.
We have participated in monthly local market, Lokdujan, where domestic and environment-friendly products are promoted before Mapogu office.
Second, distributing flyers to potential customers by individual household.
As a result, 42 new customers started to order tofu, and the tofu makers were able to have chances to promote and sell their products.
Problem 3. The lack of business knowledge and skills.
To overcome this problem, Ewha site had planned to provide business education. And for the first half of this year, we have provided education regarding profit calculation and information management.
With regards to the profit calculation, we planned the curriculum in 3 steps. First, learning profit structure. Second, setting profit goals. Third, actually calculating.
Now, the tofu makers are able to set appropriate price and the weight per unit, set profit goals, and then plan strategies to achieve their goals. With the following lectures in July and August, they will be able to actually calculate the net profit on their own.
And this transfer of business knowledge will enable them to maintain their business on their own in the long run.
Second, information management education.
The existing accounting system was inefficient and tofu makers were lacking computer skills. Therefore, we carried out 3 series lectures on managing information.
We devised a new format and taught Excel skills focusing on practical functions. As a result, the procedure of managing information was reduced from 5 steps to 3. And also, the work efficiency of tofu makers has improved.
This reduced the time spent in accounting from 12 hours per week to 5 hours per week. This also reduced the working hours, improving their working conditions, and also satisfaction of their works.
For the second half of this year,
first, we are going to increase the number of customers by applying diverse promotion methods, such as opening tastings at target areas.
Second, we're going to continue providing accounting education to help the tofu makers improve their accounting knowledge on their business.
Also, we are going to provide CRM education as the number of the customers is increasing. Then, our tofu makers will be able to have the capacity to effectively manage their business in the long run.
그전에는 하는 거는 일종의 조금 주목보시겠죠. 일종의 저희가 하는 게 저희는
도움이 왜 많이 되느냐면 우리가 그런 원가 계산이라든지 뭐 이런 거는 아직까지 해본 역사가 없어. 지금 이제 초창기고 그래 했기 때문에 그러고 위에서도 뭐 거기에 대해서 크게 뭐 비중을 하지 않았고 그랬는데 여러분들이 와서 해줘서 많이 도움이 됐다 봐요.
그러면서 두 개를 뽑을 수가 있으니까요. 일일이 파일 하나하나 안 열어도 되니까 이게 좋더라고요. 저는 그게 너무 좋아요. 같이 하다 보니까 우리한테도 도움되고 유튜브 수익도 올라가고 그런 것 같아요. 그리고
처음에 이제 원가 계산부터 해가지고 그런 게 이제 굉장히 어려울 때 큰 도움이 됐던 하나의 계기가 되는 일 같은 거 있잖아요. 그리고 이제 녹두전 같은 경우도 이제 저희가 그런 부분을 나가서 나가게 된 부분이 돼가지고 이제 뭔가 이렇게 활력이라 그럴까 이런 부분이 좀 마음에서 많이 힘든 것 같아요. 성과를 내서 이제 한번 제대로 잘 해보고 싶다.
바뀌면서 또 그 전산화가 제대로 좀 자리를 좀 잡아지는 것 같고 그리고 같이 옴으로 해서 활력이 생겨요.
Thank you.
The presentation of Ewha Women's University has now finished, and we will begin the question and answer session. Only judges may ask questions, and if you want to ask a question in English, you can in English, and you can choose between Korean or English. And when you ask a question in English, they will answer in English, and also Korean to Korean.
We have a question for Ms. Lee Myung-jin. Do you like poems?
Yes.
And did you already like poems before you began this project?
Yes.
Then I recommend that whether you reach the world championship or not, just keep loving the poem. And my question is, you have wrote that for all of you. They have learned useful marketing strategies for long-term success. But what I saw from that presentation is the director or the owner of this Korean Contemporary Poem Museum said, yes, this chance made me think about strategies, but she didn't come up with any other ideas. So how are you going to, please give me some details on how you're going to help them stand alone on the long-term basis. No, all of you. You can, anybody can. Yeah, you can.
First, so the Korean Contemporary Poem Museum's director and vice curator have no thought about any marketing strategies. They just hold their exhibition on their poem museum, but it was very hard to find a way. So many of you might be don't know about Korean Contemporary Poem Museum. So I thought that some opportunity to think about the marketing strategy will be very helpful for them. And they said that it would be helpful, and we thought visiting museum is not our ultimate goal. Our ultimate goal is to make them to financial budget or yes, increase the financial problems. So marketing strategy and thinking about marketing strategy will be they can use this poem piece or writing poem. They have never thought about that. This will be helpful for them, and it will be increase the number of customers. Maybe I think. Yes.
Yeah, that could be a one-time help. But are you gonna help them out in the long?
Yes, we were planning to hold another visiting museum, and we were planning to. We have this exhibition was free. The poem spring was free for all visitors, but we want to make a profit for making products.
If I add more about the great answer from Youngjin, we're also gonna establish more a friendly network or friendship with our target audience. And adding to that, we're gonna make, as you said before, we're gonna inventing a new products from the poem museums, and also using other marketing strategies such as bar marketing or helping other poem drawing exhibition as well. So that's the other method that we show our exhibition to the public.
Yeah, I'd like to give a tip. Maybe you can hang some poems on Cheonggyecheon area someday. Thank you.
Thank you.
H2O 팀 프로젝트와 관련해가지고 내부 거래 가격이라고 하는 그런 관점 외에 H2O 팀에서 만든 순두부가 시장에서 어떤 측면에서 다른 회사 제품하고 경쟁력에 있어서 내설 경쟁에 뭐가 있을까요?
우선 저희는 국산콩이고 친환경적으로 소포제나 그런 걸 사용하지 않았고요. 그리고 무엇보다 검은콩 두부기 때문에 맛이 너무 맛있어서 품질적으로 경쟁력이 있다고 생각합니다.
다른 회사 제품들 그렇게 하지 않고?
네.
확실해요?
네.
저희 가격을 올리고 공량을 줄였다고 해서 값을 올렸다고 그러는데 그렇게 해도 시장 경쟁력이 있다는 확신을 어떻게 했나요? 조사가 있었다든가.
네, 그러니까 타 제품들을 가격하고 중량하게 비교를 해봤는데요. 방금 말씀드렸듯이 훨씬 더 맛있어서 품질이 좋았음에도 불구하고 중량이 컸고 가격이 훨씬 낮았어요. 그리고 지금 가격을 올리고 중량을 줄였어도 다른 제품과 비교해서 절대 비싸지 않고 크기도
절대 비싸지 않은 건 어떤 수준을 절대
보통 같은 중량으로 비교를 했을 때 다른 제품들이 한 3,300원 정도 할 때 저희는 지금 2,800원에 팔고 있고요. 네.
오른 가격으로도?
네.
약간 중복된 질문인 것 같은데 그 전시회에 관한 것들은 원타임 이벤트로 돈도 좀 벌고 했던 것 같은데 중요한 거는 그 전시회 뮤지엄이 자체로 계속 서스테이너블하게 운영이 되고 사람을 어트랙팅을 해야 되는데 그 부분에 대해서 좀 다른 아이디어가 있었나요?
네, 저가 답변을 해드리겠습니다. 저희가 이거를 비지팅 뮤지엄을 이렇게 선택하게 된 것은 워낙 이제 다가가기가 쉽지 않고 그래서 저희 인지도를 처음에 높여보자는 계획이.
I'm sorry, judges' time has expired. Judges, please join me in thanking the Ewha Women's University team.